So we're now in another era of Michael Jordan comparisons. There's been a few of them throughout the years, nobody getting anywhere near as close as Kobe Bryant did. In fairness to Kobe, I don't think it's possible to get even closer to replicating any individual player as Kobe did to Michael Jordan, but still, no one has quite, in that same realm, overtaken him. While LeBron James, a lot of people could argue, is the greatest of all time, they're so completely different players that it really is just a case of, if you are making the argument, what you value as an individual. So clearly, like, it just depends on whether you value, like, the perceived invincibility of Jordan, that initial unbelievable peak of 6 to 8 years, the story, the narrative, or whether you just think prolonged greatness is the greatest of all time, because LeBron's done more for or been better for longer than anyone in the history of the sport, and it's not even close. But now we have another player entering these conversations, and this is not someone that I don't think is going to be in the greatest of all time conversations. It's Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man is that guy. He is that guy, and if they win the chip this year at 22 years old, this is going to be like, imagine Dwayne Wade, like 2006 era hype, except younger. He's younger than Dwayne Wade was in 2006. And they could do it. I think if they get past Denver, they have a great chance of doing it. And they might get past Denver because of the guys around him. But Ant-Man is so good. And obviously, he's not too happy with these comparisons himself. He's basically said it as much himself that he wants it to stop. He doesn't want people to be comparing him to Michael Jordan. And that is completely fine. But is there any, like... Is there any real comparison there as far as these two guys are concerned? Maybe. Maybe. Like, as far as, like, electrifying guards that might be some way similar to Michael Jordan, Ant-Man is the first we've seen in quite a while that has the potential to go on that trajectory. I don't see it, though. I really don't see it, because to compare him to MJ means you're putting him on a GOAT. You're putting him in the GOAT. Like, not even GOAT debate, you're putting him in the, like, trajectory of GOAT, which I think it's a little bit too early to say that. The way he plays is ridiculous, and I just don't... You know, the way there's some players that, like, they might be cocky and it's unlikable? I really like Anthony Edwards. I really do. But it is always the case, you know, with these type of players, is if they don't win fast enough, people are going to start to hate them. You can tell with Ant-Man, everything people like about him now, people are going to start to hate about him in a few years if he's not winning. I just genuinely think that he's in a good situation to win. I don't even think he needs to win multiple titles. I think he wins a title and he can shut people up. But Ant-Man is going to be that future of the league. Because if you're looking at guards that are coming through the next couple of years, I don't really see any that are really going to compete as far as, like, the younger guards that are going to be elite players. Like, Brandon Miller is Paul George reincarnated. You've got Scoot Henderson, who I think is going to be good, but I just don't think he's going to be that good. You look at this year's draft and the guards coming through. Cody Williams, no. Nikola Topic, no. Rob Dillingham, no. Reed Shepard, no. Like, I'm not even sure if any of those guys are ever All-Stars. But yeah, you've got, like, Ant-Man right here. Second All-Star, probably going to be second team All-NBA in his second year, or in his fourth year. And he's just got everything. He's got the full package. And not only that, he is one of the most marketable players in the NBA right now. And, like, this is the guy. If Adidas are ever going to make it in the shoe game, it's this guy. Like, people liked Harden, they didn't love Harden, but people love Anthony Edwards. And not only that, his shoes are beautiful, especially the lows. If you can get the low in the Stormtrooper white and black colorway, oh, if they release that shoe, just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. So Adidas just need to keep hitting it out of the park with Ant-Man, and that's going to be a big thing as well. Like, we remember what Steph Curry did to Under Armour. Under Armour was the second biggest sport brand in the United States, mainly because of Steph Curry for a couple of years. But at the same time, we probably should slow down with how much we're hyping this guy up. He seems like he's the type of guy that can deal with it, though. And future face of the NBA, I think, is as good as a guarantee. Because if we look at other potential faces, people are like, oh, does the face of the NBA have to be American? And I'm like, no, but yes. Like, there will be exceptions to the rule, but yes as well. The face of the NBA has to be somebody that necessarily wants to be the face of the NBA and is going to be, well, basically just, they're going to do some of the extra stuff. that would be involved in that. And like Victor Wembanyama, as much of an alien as he is, unless he wins every single championship, he won't be. Like Nikola Jokic couldn't care less. That man vanishes to Serbia every summer and no one hears from him when he's not playing. Even Doncic, no. I love Luka. I think when it's all said and done, Luka might have a better career than Anthony Edwards, but at the same time, nah, Anthony Edwards is that face, which obviously Michael Jordan was. And I think one of the big reasons that they're pushing him into that MJ at 22 conversation is purely because that is how good he was. Like, not that's how good he was. He's not that much worse than MJ was coming as a rookie, which he was around a similar age. But at the same time, they're putting him in that conversation because they want to push Ant-Man as the face of the league. Like, we heard not necessarily quite similar stuff. We heard a lot of stuff about Ja Morant a few years ago, stuff about Zion a few years ago, and they're pushing those guys. Both of those flopped. But Ant-Man is looking like he's going to step up. And this is the media trying to choose. I think it's more so than anything, the media trying to choose the new face of the NBA and them choosing Anthony Edwards. Are they putting too much expectations on him? Yes. And he obviously wants them to stop. But at the end of the day, they don't stop. When you are that good, these comparisons don't stop. Unfortunately, it comes to territory. And this is a man who I actually think is going to step up to it. And I think a guy who's going to be an absolutely unbelievable player for years and years to come. If he ends up top 20 of all time, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not sure if he does. But if he does, it would not surprise me at all.